Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long and joined by the guy, Bryan Salmond of the Review Journal, the Las Vegas Review Journal. The guy, you've seen him. You've seen his face everywhere. He hosts, how many shows you host now? 52, I think. 52 shows for the Review Journal or something like that.
Yeah, right? I do what I can.
The Vegas Golden Knights show.
Yes.
Of course, the Raiders.
Yes.
You and your guy, what's your guy's name?
Gilbert Monzano.
Monzano. I like his work. The man knows his stuff, man.
Yes.
You guys are doing boxing and all kinds of stuff.
Rebel Nation.
Oh, see, like I said, 52 shows.
It's now 53.
53 and a half when you're right here. The half is the Cagesiders. Yeah, that's what we do, man. So, Bryan, just jumping right in, man. We have some pay-per-view cards coming up at UFC. We got some good boxing coming up.
Yes.
It's that time of the year.
It's about time, man.
It gets in that lull there in January. We're kind of lonely. We don't see much. We don't get to go out much or anything like that. But now it starts ramping up, man. We got some good stuff on the horizon. Let's start with UFC 221, the card that's coming right around the corner.
All right.
Yoel Romero, Luke Rockhold.
Yes.
Number one. What do you think about this main event?
It's the main event?
Is it?
Oh, I didn't realize it actually was a main event.
It was a main event.
Okay. Well, let's see. Romero, first thing I had to say to everyone out there, he says I'm the guy and my face is known everywhere, but underneath this shirt, I have a body like Romero. That dude, is he jacked or what?
It makes me intimidated. Like, I don't like to look at his picture.
Yes.
Because I feel like I need to do sit-ups. Well, I need to do sit-ups anyway. But more sit-ups to look like this guy. He's so freaking jacked.
He's 40 years old. And he's Cuban, so really he's 49.
Yeah, really he's about 52, 53 years old.
But yeah, as far as the main event goes, Romero, as a wrestler, I like him. Obviously the knees, he likes to get people out of there with the knees when they try to shoot on him. Luke Rockhold, really, is there a guy who has more of a I'm the man look on his face than Luke Rockhold?
Man, he's the kind of guy, yes, he does have the I'm the man look and the I'm going to steal your girl at the same time.
No, he really does.
At all times.
Yes.
He looks like a damn GQ model.
I know.
So between Romero
I'm mad at him for that,
Luke
too.
Rockhold,
I'm mad at you for that.
This may be the prettiest main event we've ever seen
Well,
for the men in UFC.
Yes. You know what? It better be something like that, considering that it is the main event. Yeah. The fact Romero is coming in, he lost his last fight. I don't know how you get a title fight after you lose your last fight. But
UFC, baby.
There you go. Luke, he deserves a title fight. He deserves to fight against whomever had the title. It would have been nice to see him go against Bisping again, the guy whom he went into the ring with the I'm going to steal your girl look.
And then he got those hands put on him, man. Yeah. Really great fight by Michael Bisping in that to capture the middleweight championship. But it's hard to believe that Yoel Romero is a middleweight too.
Man,
he's so freaking jacked and he's so strong.
Yes, I don't know, man. Flintstone vitamins or whatever Flintstone vitamins that he's taking, I need to get some of those because that dude is absolutely jacked. But I love his wrestling. Yeah. He's got the overhand right. Rockhold is a dude that just, again, he'll beat you up, then he'll steal your girl, then he'll take your title, and he's done with it. So
Rockhold has a great ground game. We've seen, submit Lyoto Machida, guys like that on the ground, really tough guys. But you gotta, at this point, question his chin. If you get knocked out by Bisping, not that Bisping's a slouch, but Yoel Romero, about 11 of his wins have come by knockout and such. So, I think he's gonna come out. I think he's gonna swing hard and heavy.
Yes.
Will Luke Rockhold, if he's caught clean, will he be able to stand up?
Can he withstand his punch? That's a great question. That is the question that will really determine this fight. Really? Like if he can stand Romero's punch, if Romero can land a punch, but if he does, it's pretty much it's almost like Ngannou,
Yeah.
If you land that punch,
absolutely.
We'll go ahead and wake you up, see you, I'm Batman.
It hurts when they boo, Coach. Yeah, I'm waking up. This UFC is going to take place in Perth, Australia. Mm-hmm. Also home to one Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Mark Hunt. Find out there is this Mark Hunt's last hurrah.
Man, we're talking about Romero being 49 years old. This may be the all geriatric card.
Yeah.
It really may be. I like Mark Hunt, man. He's an old school dude.
Old school guy.
He's one of them cats that, like, if you're at a bar, you got something. Really? Oh, no, we can go ahead outside and go take care of this. Let's go ahead and go take care of this real quick.
He's got the New Zealand, Australian accent,
He does.
And, he seems like so nice.
He sounds like a gentleman.
Like, he would politely beat the crap out of you.
Yeah. Go ahead and take this two-piece. Get up out of here, and then you're done with it.
And he would go back to the bar, finish his chicken wings, you know, and then just, you know, drive home safe. He would probably take an Uber, one of those XXL Ubers. He's a huge guy. But he's fighting a guy in Curtis Blades, a guy who's not as well known. He's a guy who's on the come up. He's, I believe, what, 10-0, 8-1, something like that.
Yeah, 8-1, I believe.
I think his only loss is to Ngannou.
Yes. His first fight in the UFC.
This could be a fight that really gives Curtis Blades his name in the UFC.
Yeah, and one thing I like about Curtis Blades, the fact that when you look at him, you would think that he's almost a striker like Ngannou was. I mean, the guy who beat him. But he's a wrestler. Like, his background is actually wrestling. He's a very good wrestler. He's really tall. He's long. I mean, so that's something that can give Hunt some trouble, especially if, you know, he tries to take him down to the ground and pound him. Because if you're Blades, you don't want to go and fight in Hunt's world. Like, you don't want to stand there and try to trade with him, even though you have a longer reach. Because if Hunt hits you with one of them things,
night.
Yeah,
night. He's eating your chicken wings.
Yeah, he's not stealing your girl.
He's so nice, he might even pay your bar tab. You know, he's one of those guys that'll put your head, you know, put a pillow under your head and be like, okay, there you go.
Yeah, he'll leave a mint.
You know, but, you know, Hunt, I will say this in closing, you know, he's got this chip on his shoulder with the UFC.
He does.
Ever since the whole Brock Lesnar fallout.
Yes.
You know, his attitude's kind of changing, but as far as fighting is going, you know, his last few losses have come violently to knockouts. He may be one of those tough old warriors. We've seen it before. Fedor, who's still fighting.
Yeah.
Dan Henderson, when that chin goes, it kind of goes because those heavyweights, they throw with bad intentions every single time.
Think about this, and this is a stat that I figured I'd get you with. Mark Hunt has 25 professional fights. Guess how many of them have ended not in a knockout or TKO?
Ooh, I don't know.
4. 25 fights. Only 4 of his fights have not ended in a knockout or TKO.
Somebody's getting knocked out.
Exactly. So that if anything else, it'll be an entertaining fight.
Yeah. So one of those callbacks, those pride fighting days, the old kickboxing days where he used to, you know, kickbox and everything. Just guys that live and die on power.
Yeah.
And so, you know, someone's getting knocked out. So people are going to to get their money's worth.
Yes.
Yeah, heavyweights. Yeah,
Agreed.
that's what it is. And then there's the rest of the card, which I don't want to talk about because
thank you.
$64.95. No, hell no.
Okay, there you go.
The next weekend, we hear boxing. We got some boxing here in Vegas coming to town.
I love boxing, you know this.
Danny Garcia, Brandon
Philly,
Rios.
baby.
Man, this is going to be a good
Yes,
fight.
Danny Garcia, he'll be on a high. He's a Philadelphia guy. As you know, my parents are from Philly. I lived in Philly. I have some Philly ties. I'm from California. Brandon Rios is from California. So Danny Garcia is coming in with an Eagles chip. I mean, his team just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Danny Garcia has not fought in 800 years. It gets on my nerves a lot. We were just talking about this on one of our mini shows at Review Journal.
Right.
The fact that Danny Garcia hasn't fought in forever, like Keith Thurman hasn't fought in forever. A lot of the big names, bigger names, young guys haven't fought in a long time. So Garcia finally getting a chance to fight again. He's headlining at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
As opposed to being back in Brooklyn and taking on a guy in Brandon Rios who is a guy who likes to get hit. He likes to brawl. It should be an exciting fight. It should be a win for Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to the fight.
Man, this is one of those classic puncher boxers versus brawlers. Brandon Rios, you know, he's kind of going toward the tail end of his career, which is, you know, it's weird in boxing that he's only 31.
Yeah,
I believe,
he's a young dude.
He's at the tail end. It's only losses to Pac-Man, Mike Alvarado, and Timothy Bradley.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, you can see the quality kind of slipping, but he's got some incredible knockout power. But Danny Garcia is no freaking slouch. Only lost, like you said, to Keith Thurman, and that was a split decision.
He was.
And, you know, but he hasn't fought in a year.
Yes.
They fought last March.
Yes. It drives me crazy. These guys, you know, Floyd kind of killed the game, being that he wants to wait around and
everybody trying to be Floyd, man.
You're not him. Fight. We need you to get out here and fight. Make a name for yourself. And you're not a billionaire.
Yeah.
You haven't earned $1 billion in your career.
No. I get the guys are trying to do it. They're trying to build anticipation, stuff like that. Like Earl Spence and the Charlo brothers fighting all the damn time. I think
yes.
hard.
Nobody wants them dudes, man. Nobody wants them.
Everybody's like, I got an injury now.
Yeah. Oh, man, you know what? I hurt
flexor.
My interior flexor.
Cartilage on my ear.
Yeah, exactly. I can't fight.
I can't do that. I want to be 100% for the fans.
Yeah.
Right. So, looking at it, Danny Garcia, Brandon Rios, I think you already let it slip that you think Danny Garcia is going to pull this off, but how is it?
that's a great question. You must have done this before.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I pretend to.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the why Danny Garcia win. One, he's a better boxer. He's a better boxer, but he's not only a boxer. He has a lot of power in that left hook. Brandon Rios gets hit a lot.
Brandon Rios, one of those classic guys that'll take 2 or 3 to give the one.
Exactly.
Is that the smartest strategy?
Not against Danny Garcia.
Not against
ask Amir Khan, ask Lucas Matisse, guys who are boxers or fighters who absorb a lot of punishment, and he knocked Matisse down. He was on the undercard of the Mayweather-Canelo fight.
Right.
And I remember going to that fight. That was a great fight. It was built up to be one of those ones where Garcia was supposed to lose, and Matisse, who was really, really hot, and Amir Khan, who was really, really hot, and he knocked out Amir Khan with gave him the haymaker, got him out of the left hook, and then Matisse knocked him down with a body shot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, he did. Poor Amir Khan.
Amir Khan.
He got those damn stink legs, and he danced his way right out of anything.
Yeah.
But he's still hanging around, man.
He's coming back. Actually, he's got a fight coming up here in the next few months. Finally, he's been offered since Canelo got him out of there.
The guy in school. There was always one in every school. That guy who loved to fight but always got knocked out. That's kind of Amir Khan. He's kind of a bully. Picked on the 7th graders when he was in 8th grade and stuff like that. But once they started catching up, he just.
I hate to even say this because this tells everyone how old I am because I'm old as dirt. But in Living Color, they used to do a skit. Where I believe it was Jim Carrey played Jerry Cooney.
Jerry Cooney.
Yes, and anytime somebody would touch him, he'd start bleeding out of his mouth and he'd be
Dad, this is my date, Jerry Cooney Jr.
Yeah, how you doing, kid? Oh, gee.
Like father, like son.
Easy. Put your arm over here. Put your arm around him. All right.
That's Amir Khan.
Amir Khan.
I'm sorry.
I hate him because actually I like Amir Khan. He seems like a really nice
He does
dude,
seem like a real good dude.
But lately, just he got the punch drunks, man.
If I look at you like this,
he just start bleeding out his nose.
I'm sorry.
That made me feel bad. Leave your hate in the comments. That's all.
Yeah.
March 3rd. March 3rd is going to be a big day, both MMA and boxing. UFC 222. 222? Yeah, there you go. I said that right. They finally found a main event in the form of Cyborg versus
someone with a long name that you can pronounce.
Kunitskaya. Yana Kunitskaya.
Boom.
A lady who last was a bantamweight champion in Invicta. They just picking people off the street now to fight Cyborg because being honest, UFC doesn't really have beyond Cyborg. There's not any other featherweights.
There's no depth.
Megan Anderson's still technically in Invicta. She's not going to be back until maybe the summertime. The other lady, Durandamy, whatever her name was, the one who vacated the title rather than the fight Cyborg.
Yeah.
And now this is your main event for 222.
That's all bad. That's really all bad. I can remember, again, why I have to come on here and start being the old guy? I remember back in my day. I can remember sitting in Dana White's office on Sahara Boulevard, back when the UFC was on Sahara, and talking to him about women fighting in the UFC. And him saying, man, that's never going to happen. This is back when Gina Carano was huge, right? So now he knows he can earn money with, Ronda Rousey. She got big. Cyborg is now a headliner. She's really big, but there's still no depth. There's no depth.
There's no depth.
Holly Holm, maybe if they did a rematch, I think that would draw more views. A rematch with Holly Holm than the fight that she's getting ready to have with the lady.
I think so too.
Off the street.
Yeah, Kunitskaya, not a whole lot. This is her first UFC fight. She was right. Of course in Invicta, but the competition. Not to say that it's less than, but you haven't faced anyone like Cyborg. Not many female fighters in these weight classes have faced anyone like Cyborg, who's just.
She will put them hands on you.
She will.
She will put them hands on you.
She will.
That's the best way to describe it.
That is respect right there, because if they locked me in there, I'd be like, hell no.
Nah, man. I want no parts of you, mama. I'm sorry. In respect due. She will. I like your hair when you go to the octagon. The braids, they look nice.
Yeah.
She seems like and the thing is, she seems like she's a really sweet person.
Yeah,
too.
I've met her before. She's super, super sweet. Will take time out of her day, sign any piece of paper, take any photo, and things like that. And I feel bad that it's happening at this time that
Yeah.
it's happening, you know, I mean, because there isn't really any equal competition
nobody,
to see
yeah.
just how good she really is.
Yeah.
Not that Holly Holm is a slouch, not that any of her opponents in the past have been slouches, but, you know, just saying. I mean, she is the, like you said, the Ronda Rousey, where the competition hasn't caught up yet.
No.
So are you that good, or are you just better than everyone right now?
See, and that's a very good question as well. I think that she's that good. Like Ronda Rousey, in my opinion, she was just there was really no depth as far as female fighters in the UFC, and she was not, in my opinion, all that good of a fighter. I mean, people who know MMA realize that she wasn't a very good fighter. I mean, she wasn't a very good boxer. They pumped her up to be, but she wasn't. She was a good judo, and she had a nice arm bar. But MMA, as you know, is a lot more than judo tosses and arm bars. You got to be able to do a whole lot more than that.
When the competition catches up, you know, Matt Hughes, would Matt Hughes survive in
Wow.
today's UFC? Would, you know, any of those guys that were kind of more one-dimensional?
Yeah.
Not that Matt Hughes didn't have any knockout power. Of course, he did knock out some guys, but it was basically wrestling.
Oh, yeah, ground and pound.
You know, that kind of stuff. So it's interesting to see. I do kind of feel bad for her, but this is the main event we get.
Yeah.
Frankie Edgar, of course, was supposed to face Max Holloway.
Yes, that would've
this
been a good
falls
fight,
out. Oh,
too.
man, that would have been a great fight. And now he's facing Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
In the co-main.
Frankie, to me, Frankie is one of my favorite fighters, man.
Yeah.
Like, Frankie's been around for a little while, although he's still kind of a young guy. I remember when he was a champion, just how he was a real ambassador for the UFC. You know, like, I remember seeing him go to schools, and, I mean, he was hanging out with football players back in New Jersey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Frankie Edgar, and he's got very good hands, and to me, one of the best things you can do as a fighter, an MMA fighter, any fighter, in respecting the sport is having good cardio. And Frankie Edgar always has good cardio. So I'm definitely pulling for Frankie. I'm sad for him, the fact he doesn't get a chance to fight Max Holloway, because that was going to be a great fight. I think that would have been a very good, especially for fight fans like you and I, that would have been a very good main event.
Right. And, you know, again, the price point has changed. $64.95 for this. Now, UFC 222 has a few more names on it. You know, Stefan Struve, Andrei Arlovsky.
That's going to be a good fight.
I
A
think
throwback.
that'll be a good fight, a good throwback fight. I think they're just going to stand and bang. You know, that's good. Then we have guys.
CB
Brian,
Dalloway?
Yeah, CB Dalloway's fighting Hector Lombard. And, you know, CB. You know, ex-Mrs. Misha Tate, Brian Caraway, he's going to be on the card.
Yeah, and who else? Is it Van? Who?
Kat Zingano's
Kat.
gonna be in there.
Kat.
Yeah, Kat. And then the highly touted jiu-jitsu ace Mackenzie Dern. Excuse me, not Michelle. Mackenzie Dern makes her debut for the UFC.
That's nice.
Another one that's kind of, I believe, being rushed a little bit. I mean, I saw her legacy fights, and I saw her, you know, all that stuff.
That's the thing with the UFC, especially with the women fighters, is that it's just not. I mean, credit to the UFC trying to pump fighters in, doing like the Ultimate Fighter to try to get more women in their different weight classes. But there's just not a whole lot of depth, so the talent pool is not going to be. It's not going to be that great.
Then
You
again,
have to push
Bellator
fighters.
went out there and they signed a bunch of, you know, 145, 135 pound ladies. In the beginning, I think they knew what they were doing. Like, hey, we're going to cut this off. We're going to be the home for female, you know, MMA at these weight classes and stuff like that. So it's interesting. Scott Coker, he's not a dumb guy.
No, he's not. I mean, and he's lasted. You know, I mean, think about how many fight organizations have come around since the UFC, and Dana got them all out of there, and Coker is still.
Oh yeah, Coker sold Strike Force, made a little money in that.
Yeah.
Disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah.
Come back, kicked Bjorn Rebney out, and then took his place and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this over." And you know, he's got his mix now, his older fighters. And
Yeah, don't call it a
guys.
comeback.
There you go, man. He knows what he's doing. And very quickly before we go, you know, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, March 3rd that night from Barclays Center.
Yeah, in Brooklyn. Deontay Wilder. I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet him.
Once.
Super cool dude,
Yeah,
man.
very laid back. Very
Yeah, super cool dude. Bringing that power, the Bronze Bomber. You know, maybe, well, I guess Alabama won, so, I mean, he's got to be excited. I mean, he's a big Alabama Roll Tide guy. Luis
Luis Ortiz.
If he's not taking his Flintstone vitamins, that should be a good fight. Two guys undefeated. We've been wanting to see this for a while. Yeah. I think that's going to be a good fight. Heavyweights. I mean, you can't miss with heavyweights, especially guys that throw bombs. Like, I mean, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, his last fight against Stavern. I always screw up his name.
Yeah, I did
Saw him
too.
at a gas station a little while ago, but and he fought like he had been at the gas station doing his training because I mean that was what,
Wow,
one round.
Yeah, that was
ya?
really sad. We had him on the show in the summertime.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like it. Very soft-spoken, very humble guy.
Yeah.
But he looked like he didn't train one. He looked like me. Like, hey, I'll get up. I'm gonna go fight Deontay Wilder right now. As is. Don't worry.
He was the Rampage Jackson of boxing in that fight.
Yeah.
Except Rampage doesn't get knocked out like that, but I mean, and I used to love Rampage. That was my dude, man. But guys got to respect the sport, man. Train, get some cardio. Get your cardio up, baby.
And we get to see how Deontay Wilder is outside of Alabama, where he's mainly fought his entire career.
Yeah.
39-0, 38 knockouts. You cannot argue with that.
That's
And
a decent percentage.
The one decision was the first Berman Stavern fight, which
Yeah.
is crazy, you know. But, Luis Ortiz, no slouch, 28-0, 24 knockouts. So lots of power. Someone's going to get knocked out in this fight, like Mark Hunt. I think Mark Hunt is also going to make an appearance in this fight. Someone's getting knocked out. Man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun. So March 3rd is going to be a good time. I'm going to have you back in before these guys fight, and we'll talk some more.
Come on, let's do the dang thing.
Again, if people want to follow along, they want to follow what you do, Brian, where can they hit you up, man?
ReviewJournal.com. We do a boxing show, Raiders, Golden Knights, hockey, UNLV Rebels. Also on Twitter, B-South Sports Guy RJ. This guy likes to retweet my stuff. I like to retweet his stuff. Hey, we get down. It goes down. Not the DMs, but it goes down on Twitter. So, yeah, check me out.
That's how we do. All right. Out.